Challengers, what is up? What's happening? Happy Monday. It's day 7, baby. Are you still with us? Are you still showing up? We asked for such a massive commitment of 7 days so far. It's crazy. Imagine being consistent for 1 week. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Well, I know many of you are. So congratulations. Super excited to be on here. We got some fun stuff for you for sure. What's up, Kelly? What's up, Jessica? What's happening? Amanda in the house. Donna. Angelo. What's going on? Cherie. Yes, yes. What's up, Ross? What's up, Maggie? There's Tara. There's Julie. Good morning, good morning. All right, 2 more seconds, 2 more seconds. Alta. Jermaine. Russ K in the house. Lisa K in the house. Nebby. Awesome. All right, let's go. Let's do this. Morning, morning, morning. All right, hope you had a good weekend. As you know, mine was mixed since my Colts lost. But again, saved me an untold amount of money because now I don't want to go to the Super Bowl. and I was ready. I was ready to go. I was ready to go big. What's up, Paula? So congrats if your team won. Way to go. That's all you're getting. All right, let's do it. So day 7, I want to share with you. Now notice that we're delaying because some of you are updating a little late-seas, and so we're delaying. So far we've only released day number 1, but I am going to share day number 2 stats. And you notice we won't report on who's doing new Facebook Lives because theoretically day 2 there should be 0, right? Because they did day 1, right? And so as far as stats, this is pretty good. 5,000, day 2, this is just day 2. Now this is not cumulative because day 1, we had 187 signups and I think 6,000 leads or something like that. But as far as who reported, which if you notice that if the numbers are going down, it's fewer people reporting, right? And that's the nature of human beings. They wonder why they don't have results. They're not consistent with the action, right? Just the deal. And so day number 2 stats, 5,670 leads generated, 160 sales or sign ups. And so congratulations, you guys are rocking. Seriously, really proud of you guys. And this morning. So this morning I was up just wickedly early and I'm scrolling. And literally all I see for miles is 14-day challenge videos. I'm like, this is amazing. And so so many people doing their 14-day challenge is so cool. And so congratulations, you guys are really playing big. I know I pick on you and I know I kick you every now and then. But for some of you, I only got you 14 days. So I gotta do my worst. And so there you go. All right, so step number 1, what do we do first? And hey, Judy, is it your birthday? I feel like it is. Happy birthday, I believe. Is that today? I think so. But today, step number 1, what do you do first things first is update higdongroup.com/14-day tracker. higdongroup.com/14-day tracker. So you want to update that with any days that you've missed. And by the way, they don't save. It looks like it'd be neat if we had software that showed, oh, here's what you did day 1, here's what you put in day 2, here's what we're working toward that. And it's a pretty decent investment that we're working toward. So happy birthday, Judy. But we don't have it yet. So right now it's kind of rudimentary, but it does at least, capture the information. And so update the tracker, step 1. What action steps have you not, what days have you not filled out? Today is day 7, so you should not be filling out day 7 activity, day 6 activity for yesterday. All right, and so there's that higdongroup.com/14-day tracker. Your action step, I'll just tell you right away, and it's gonna remain this just with some tweaks. And so your action step is do another Facebook Live today, any topic you want, any topic, and hashtag 14-day challenge, which many of you are forgetting this. totally cool, whatever. But you're forgetting this. It brings up a talking point, by the way, because some of you, and I'm real interested, how many of you have had people reach out to you and just ask you, hey, what's the 14-day challenge? See, it's a talking point. And so you can actually create leads from that hashtag. And people saying, hey, what's the 14-day challenge? Oh, glad you asked. I'm actually learning how to market my business online. Do you currently have a home-based business? So you want to use anything and everything you can to get people to reach out to you. That's why we sell these shirts. We sell, like this one, you can't read it, but it says, just getting started. We got, default setting gratitude. Like, we're constantly doing things to get people to ask you questions so that you can turn that into a conversation. Okay. And so, do your action step, any topic you want, engage beforehand. Very important. Okay. Inside the Facebook Live, intro, question, content, call to action. Engage immediately after the live, answer any comments if you have any, and engage with people, that sort of thing. And then remember your CTA delay for those who do reach out to you. And you may or may not get any people reaching out to you, but keep showing up and you will start getting people reaching out to you, I guarantee it. And so we got some big topics for you here today. And some of them we'll knock out very, very quickly. The main thing, because it came up yesterday, and I don't know if he responded, and I don't remember his name, but he chimed in. If you're on here, raise your hand. I didn't catch your name, but he chimed in and said, "Hey, I used to work for an advertising company, and we always had a target market. We always had a specific person that we're targeting and we're going after. Yet you're not teaching that in here." And so we'll talk about that kind of stuff. I figured it'd be a good time to talk about duplication, to talk about what's the difference between being complex and making people feel like they can't do what you do versus still having an amazing work ethic, but everyone believing they can at least do what you do. That's a humongous monetary difference. You're talking millions of dollars versus tens to, if you're really, really hard worker, hundreds of thousands, right? So most likely tens of thousands compared to millions. And so I want to talk about that because we are a unique industry. So first, let's talk, these kind of go together. So many of you have been asking me, well, hey, should I be using a Facebook page? Should I have a business page? Or should I use my personal profile? And some people, they misunderstand Facebook's rule, right? And so they say, well, you're not supposed to do business under a personal profile, Ray. You're supposed to have a business page. That's not actually the rule. The rule is that they don't want you to be a business on your personal profile. Now, you can be a human that owns a business. You can be a human that has a service business. So you can be Larry who owns Larry's paint jobs, but you shouldn't be Larry's paint jobs. You see the difference? So you shouldn't be Fidelity Investments. You can be Joe that works at Fidelity Investments. Because think about this. How many realtors, how many insurance people, how many people that aren't network marketers post about their business? If you said almost everyone, you'd be correct. But they shouldn't be the business. So don't be a Keller Williams, but you can be Debbie that works at Keller Williams. You see the difference there? And so just to clear that up, because some people think, oh, I better get a business page or I'm going to get booted. You can be a person who has a business on a personal profile. I have for a really long time. And it is true that my first Facebook account did get terminated, never got it back. That was either 10 or 11 years ago. And it's because I had someone helping me out and they just sent out too many messages and they kept sending them even though it was warning them. And so it got me booted. So the most expensive thing in the world is cheap help. And I learned that lesson a few times. Okay. Now we don't hire cheap help. So should you have a business page? Well, that question ties into ads. So this will be a kind of, fast training for you, I believe. Okay. So Henry, was that you? Were you the one that brought it up? I'm not sure. I don't remember. But we suggested business pages for many years, but it just became very, very evident, and we tested this, that if you aren't running ads, the chances of you getting traction on your page is so unlikely. And I'm not saying you can't, but it's so unlikely. And so you might say, okay, well then if I need to run ads to have a page, well, should I be running ads? Well, that depends, okay? First, you need to understand what advertising is. So advertising, despite whatever you have heard, the point of advertising is to create the ability to spend more. Now, most people use it as a club, right? Boom. They use it and they say, you know what? I got 50 extra bucks. Let me just throw 50 bucks towards some ads, right? Let me just throw 50 bucks towards some ads. And then they run the 50 bucks and they're like, well, was that good or not? I don't know, but I'm out of money. That is not the way to run ads. So the point of ads, let me just get me some space here, okay? All right, y'all like the DMO yesterday? Was that helpful? I hope so. All right, so the point of ads is, you test, track, tweak, scale, split test. Now, for 99% of people in your organization, this is too complex. It's just too complex. And so if you have an extra 50 bucks to throw toward an ad, do not throw it toward an ad unless your plan is to do all of this. Save the money, get a steak dinner. It's much smarter. You have a guaranteed result. You'll get a steak dinner. Hopefully it's good. If you don't have this plan, then just don't do it, okay? And as far as should you have a page based on how much you're making, makes no sense. That has no bearings at all, zero. And so here's the problem. So most people that do ads, they will do an ad, okay? And it'll point to either, if they're smart, it'll point to a conversation, right? But often it points to a sign-up page. Which, whether you like it or not, and I'm not picking on any one company, your company pages aren't persuasive. They're not good copy, they're not persuasive, they're not compelling, and they have way too many options. Now, I'm not picking on the company. For compliance reasons, y'all have to have multiple options in there, and I've just never seen a compelling, persuasive page. Now, you can have videos that are great, right? So you can have a great video, but the actual sign-up page that that you have for, and Henry, I'll use that example. Let me write that, restaurants, because I'll tell you how I would actually advertise a restaurant. Mine is scalable. Most people's wouldn't be. So, where was I? Henry threw me off. It's not his fault. I chose. So most sign-up pages, they're just, now I have heard there's one trainer out there, and I cringe so badly when I heard that this is what he was teaching. There's at least one that I know of. There's a trainer out there that teaches to make your own sales page, make your own sign-up page, and capture their credit card, capture everything, and then just input it into your company. That is mega illegal, like mega. Like I don't know how many laws that breaks, but mega illegal. And even if it wasn't illegal, it is so non-duplicatable, it's ridiculous. You might as well go to your organization and say, hey, let's just make our own labels. Just give Photoshop, guys. What's the problem? So illegal and non-duplicable. It makes me cringe. And I get it, man. I mean, I know transactions. I know sales pages. I know sales funnels. I know all that stuff. But This is the exact example of why super smart marketers and even super sharp salespeople don't usually make big money in network marketing unless they learn what we're going to talk about here in a little bit. Now, we're currently not talking about it yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay. So here's what most people do. They're like, I'll run an ad, and it could be for the restaurant. It could be for the steak dinner, buy one, get one for two, or whatever. And it either, for network marketing, if they're smart, it leads to a conversation that then from the conversation leads to a sign up page. But here's the number one problem. Here's the number one problem. This same person will do a Facebook Live driving to either a convo or to a sign up page, and the convo may lead to a sign up page, okay? And so they'll do an ad, but they're super excited. So let me make sure I do a Facebook Live too. And they'll have conversations, and they may even get signups. But which one did they come from? And so some people will run an ad and just look at their bottom line and say, money is up a little bit. The ad must have worked. And that is a terrible way to think as an advertiser. And this is what I'm setting up for you here is why most people should not do ads just yet, right? Maybe ever, arguably, okay? And so how you have to do it is you have to know that you have to track what conversations came from the ad versus, okay, this one came from this free live. What am I getting free? What am I actually paying for? And so not only that, you have to look at, okay, someone signed up. Okay, where did they come from? Did they come from this ad? Or did they come from over here? And here's where it gets even harder. It gets even harder when you start talking about things like this. Split testing. So I'm not even suggesting, in fact, we never, ever run just one ad. We run two. And we split test it. We see which one is working more effectively, and we know. Now, we don't typically, if I was in network marketing, I would. If we were building a network marketing organization, I would. But because we're selling, information mainly, it's going, to a persuasive sales page that we control. Okay, and so we're going to see which ad is performing more. And if you want to get to the crazy level, the amateur. So let's say that someone figures this out. Right? Let's say they're like, okay, I got it. I can just create two split ads, and I can know if they send me a B, then I know they came from this ad. If they send me a C, then I know they came from this ad. And if they send me an A, they came from a free thing. Right? You could try to do all those different things. Well, the amateur, and then you got to track. Okay, well, how much did you make? Did you break even? If you break even in network marketing, that's actually a good thing. But the big question that is very hard to answer, if you really want to get serious about ads, is how much can I spend? How much can I spend? And that is very difficult. Notice how complicated this already is. Some of you are all like, split what? What? Right? Imagine going to your team. I am not teaching you to do ads. I'm actually teaching you what you would have to know to do ads and trying to talk you out of it. Because I would rather you keep it simple and get 1,000 people doing what you're doing on their personal profile versus this. And it doesn't, there's better software, there's certain software, whatever. It doesn't matter. You still got to do this. This is the basics. And so how much can I spend? So amateurs will spend $19 to make $20. Now, some of you look at that and you're like, yeah. Well, pros, for example, we know how long someone on average, I know, Rose, stick with me. You can I'm going to Men in Black you guys, right? It kind of looks like it, right? Right? I'm going to Men in Black you after this and I'll erase it from your memory banks, okay? And so the pros know what is the lifetime value of a customer. So I'm just letting you know, we can spend $100 to get one rank maker because we know they last longer than the return of $100. So think about that. Think about being able to pay $100 to make 20, and it actually makes sense. It requires a level of detail most people don't have, very confusing, okay? And so if I'm running a restaurant, then I'm gonna run ads and track it for the lifetime value of the customer so that I can know, okay, I spent $27 to acquire this person to come into my establishment, but once someone comes into my establishment, they spend on average $350 because they show up 4 or 5 times. Well, that means I might be able to spend up to $200 to have a very small sale, or even to give away a coupon. That is way more technical mumbo jumbo than most people will ever be willing to learn. Okay, and it's all about tracking, man. All about tracking, and scaling it is how much can I spend. So we can go, and I mean this month alone we may come close to, at least we're shooting for. And sometimes you literally can't buy enough ads, but we're shooting for 95 grand this month in ad spend, because we will make more than that from directly those ads, okay? I say all this stuff because we usually this is a marketing challenge. It would be weird if I didn't cover it, okay? And so why do I tell you all this stuff? I tell you all this stuff to try to talk you out of it, right? I try to talk you out of ads and try to talk you out of doing business pages, because for most people, it just doesn't make sense, right? It just doesn't make sense. And so if you want, and here's why, here's the exact reason. So now we're gonna flip gears. I hope that was helpful to you, okay? We're gonna flip gears and I'm gonna talk about duplication, all right? So the least likely person to make big money, pay attention to this. If you told me, hey, who's more likely to get to $1 million a year? A tow truck driver who has never studied anything about marketing or sales, or the president of the local advertising board? My vote would be the tow truck driver. Why? So here's the keys, right? Here's the key. So if you want to reduce your duplication by 90%, okay, here's what you do. All right. So I'll make it real simple for you. Okay. And so if someone said, hey, Ray, I'm really getting too much duplication, I'm paying too much in taxes, I'm making too much money, what can I do to slow these guys down? Okay. I'm going to give you some words to say and some concepts to suggest. Okay. So 1, target market. Now, where does target market make sense? Ads. If you're doing an ad, don't do it to everyone, right? It doesn't make sense, okay? But if you go to your team and say, hey guys, you got to know your exact target market. You got to know exactly what to do. I've seen this 1.2 million times. The next 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, 12 months, 14 months, 2 years, 3 years, they're working on that perfect target market. They're working on their niche. Like, well, I kind of like scuba divers, but I also like single moms. You know what? I went to the event and they were talking about college students and millennials. So you know what? I really think that I need to focus more on millennials is what I'm thinking. And then they go and they meet some baby boomers and they're like, oh my God, I'm a baby boomer. I should totally be doing baby boomers, man. Oh God, I'm killing it, man. So they will not prospect a single soul for the next 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, 12 months, 14 months, 22 months, whatever, okay? And you will have, and here's the number one difference. The number one difference between someone who makes big money and someone who doesn't, okay, is the person that doesn't make big money. And guys, this was me when I started. This was me. So believe me, I'm not picking on you. I was exactly this way because I came from real estate and I was slinging houses like crazy, and I understood emails and marketing and all the target market, blah, 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 blah. I understood all that stuff. And so I was this. I was the transaction specialist. What can I do personally to get that transaction? Now, for any other business, restaurant, chiropractor, diamond salesman, whatever, right? Whatever. Focus on the transaction. And the example that someone, I still don't know if it was Henry, I'm not sure, I guess by the quotes he's saying and stuff. So Henry was like, hey, Pepsi Cola, bro. Pepsi Cola has a target market. Yeah, because they're not trying to teach you to sell Pepsi Cola. They're just selling you Pepsi Cola. So if you want to sell the thing, okay, you will not make a lot of money. And if you're really just savage, man, I mean, if you're a savage juggernaut, if you're just a ruthless beast of transactions, if you are just a recruiting freak of nature, and I mean the best of the best of the best, you will not make over $150,000 a year. Now, you may hear that and say, $150,000 a year, that's pretty good. I'm saying if you're a savage freak of nature recruiting 30, 40 a month, you might get there. You will not have much duplication, but you will master transactions. But if you want to make $150,000 a week, like some of our clients, you need to not think transaction, you need to think community and duplication. Okay? So if you want to blow 90% of anyone who ever would have possibly done anything, talk about target market, okay? Be very careful around how you use personal brand, because personal brand can also send people in a tizzy. Now, I'm not gonna list it on here because there are ways, distinctions that you can make around the concept of personal branding where it's not gonna impact you negatively, but it's a fine line. It's a fine line. So target market or niche, okay, to credibility. If you go to your organization and you talk to them about, hey, we gotta get you influential, we gotta make you special, we gotta make you credible, we gotta make you an authority, which all good advice for anything but network marketing. If you're a chiropractor, position yourself as the best chiropractor. And the really smart chiropractors are really specific, right? Like I'm a pregnant mom chiropractor. I'm a teenage kid chiropractor. I'm a baby chiropractor, right? Why? Because they're not teaching you to be a chiropractor. You should focus on the transaction in every other business. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean I'm not saying, hey, don't worry about transactions, man. They'll just come, blah, 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 blah. But instead of credibility, specialness, influence, okay? Instead of these things, I want every person that comes into the organization, I want every single person to say, man, if you can do it, I can do it. Now, if you're the super smart marketing wizard or you're super good at sales, right? So let's teach them some NLP, man. Ooh, yeah. NLP hypnosis. Let's do that, okay? And again, where is this list falling? 90% won't do anything, all right? So if you want to decrease your income in network marketing by 90%, talk about target market niche. Talk about credibility, being special. How can we position you as special? Make sure you got to get your influence up. You gotta put on your page that you're the #1 something. Okay. Let's teach you the master skills of NLP, hypnosis, amazing closing abilities. Okay. This will put your team into a learn mode that they will never escape. They'll never escape. I'm telling you, a very rare bird. 10% is actually way too kind. I'm being very kind here. So these super marketers, these super salespeople, I'm not saying they won't make some sales, but the chances of them duplicating is so minute, is so small. This is why, and hey, check me. The person who's the number one recruiter in your company is not the number one earner. Never seen it. I have never seen it where the number one recruiter is also the number one earner. I'm not saying not to recruit. I'm saying your job is to recruit. Your job is to bring in customers. Your job is to recruit. But yeah, and Yasmin's saying I've spent a fortune on this stuff, okay? Instead of, okay, and again, any other business. I mean, I've coached insurance guys, I've coached chiropractors, I've coached real estate investors, I've coached speakers, I've coached authors, all of those guys. I teach them all this stuff, right? I teach them, absolutely increase your credibility, absolutely become special, absolutely have a target market, get a niche. But if any of them do network marketing, I ain't doing it. Here's how extreme I am. When I would recruit doctors, okay, and they was like, I'm a doctor here. When I would recruit doctors, I would tell them to tell cold market that they work at a hospital. Think about that. Think about that blow to the ego, okay? Think about that. And so, and great example, Henry. Henry likes fighting me. I like this. This is fun. So Matt, I coached Matt years ago on marketing, not on whatever. Here's the difference, okay? Here's the difference. Matt does not go to his team, I guarantee you. I put 100 G's on it. Matt does not go to his team and say, you gotta learn target market, you gotta be credible, you gotta be special, you gotta have influence, let me teach you NLP. He is positioned as an authority, which he was before he even joined that company, I believe, right? So he is positioned. You can be an authority. You can. But it's when you teach your team that they need that, that's when you don't make money. You just don't make money. So Henry, I realize we may not ever agree. Look at, if you are $1 million earner, I want to talk to you. I want to see if you've taught this to your team. Let's hop on the phone and let's chat, because you will be the first person I have ever met that teaches this to their team that actually makes big money. Now, you may be super smart, and there's a lot of super smart people out there, right? There's a lot of people that understand all this, but none that I've ever seen that go to their team and say, do this stuff, that are actually making big money, okay? And so NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. Don't worry about it. It's most people that learn it are even worse at communicating to human beings afterwards. You have to really master it, like really master it to where it's so sleight of hand, and people aren't willing to put in that kind of time, right? So wouldn't worry about it. So if people think, well, you know what? Guys, I've heard this. I swear I've heard this thousands of times. I've heard people say, well, you know, I just got to learn my target market, and then I'm going to really crush this thing 2 years later. Hey, did you figure out that target market? Oh, I'm still working on it. You know, I'm just, I'm thinking cabinet makers, because I used to make cabinets, but I really resonate with pet owners too. I really resonate with pet owners too-sies. And so and here's another one. Okay, I just saw it. Now, let me explain something here. If you want to come up with your perfect person, which is what an avatar is, right? Perfect person, okay? If you want to come up with, okay, I would like to target these people, fine, but if you take more than 3 minutes of that, I would get to damn work. Get to work. And I'm telling you, if you don't ever go to your organization and tell them this stuff. And so let me give you an example. So I've shared this in Rank Makers quite a few times, but it'll be a good refresher for some of you. So let me tell you the tale of two speakers, okay? In my first network marketing company, I sought out, because I had been a speaker, I was in real estate, and this was my first one, so I wasn't dead broke at this point, okay? I was making good money in real estate, and I knew marketing, I knew target market, I studied Dan Kennedy, all these guys, right? And so when I joined, I'm like, all right, I want to make this thing happen. Okay, I want to make it happen. And so I'm like, all right, who's the best speaker here? Who's the best speaker? So I found a guy. Dude was a beast, man. I mean, he's just dressed to the nines, pow, just like pow. I mean, he's so sharp, man. You look at him, you cut yourself. Ow, damn, you sharp, right? Super sharp, super smooth. No ums and ahs here. Had the hand movements, had the persuasion going on. Just a beast, man. And he'd been trained as a speaker, just unbelievable, right? And so I'm like, wow, this guy, impressive, so impressive. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to follow this. I'm going to bring people to this person. And so I started bringing people to this person, right? And so I would get 10 there because I invited 100. Let me say that again. I would get 10 there because I invited 100. Some of y'all think you invite 10, you get 10. No, you invite 10, you get 1, right? And so back then we didn't have webinars. Well, did we have? I guess maybe some people were doing webinars back then. I wasn't, but anyway. So I'm bringing people to the meeting. Okay, so if I want 10, I got to invite 100, so I get 10, right? So, and he would always impressive, man. Like seriously, I mean, you would hire this guy to speak because he's just that good, man. You felt like you owed him money. He was so good, man. And so, invite 100, get 10 in front of him. Usually one would join, maybe 2. On a good night, 2 out of 10 would join. Okay, 10%. And so. I'm just doing my thing, bringing people, getting slowly, building, recruiting people. And one day I got my people there, man. I got my 10, right? I'm ready for my 1 sign up. I got my 10 there. He can't make it. What do you mean? Oh man, he's not feeling good. He's not gonna be able to make it. Who's gonna speak? Oh, she is. And I look over, I'm like, oh my God. Really? She Good speaker? Yeah, she's a good speaker. Okay. All right. Okay. And so she gets up there and she goes, hey everyone, today we're going to talk about some berries. And we had a flip chart, all right? So we had a flip chart and she starts and I'm just like 2 words out of her mouth. I'm like, oh my God, where's my slick Rick, man? Where is my smart dude? What is happening? I've wasted an entire week. And she goes, hello. Today we're going to talk about berries. And she flips the 1 page, like slowly too, man. Slow, like you can hear the page turning. It's like, yeah. And I'm just like, oh my God. I just want to smash my head into the wall. I'm looking at my people. They're like, really, dude? Because I've built him up, man. This guy walks on water. He heals the sick, man. This guy is, woo! This guy's amazing, man. So she and these berries are good for inflammation and stuff. Right? Page 3, okay? And she's talking. They're all like rubbing their eyes. They're all looking at their phones. They're looking at me like, really? How long do I got to endure this crap, right? Oh, God. And then she gets about 20 minutes in, she gets to the income disclosure statement. And she says, I'm an Emerald. And so, people look up, because people are interested in income, right? Like, how much could this chick be making, right? I mean, that's what they're thinking, okay? And so they look up, they look at Emerald, they scroll over, and it says average of $180,000 a year. And they look at it like this. They look at Emerald. They look at $180,000 a year. They kind of adjust their eyes. I'm watching this. I'm watching the whole thing go down. They kind of adjust their eyes. They go to 180. Emerald. They look at her. Emerald. 180. Now they use their hand. Okay? Now they use their hand. So they go, let me put my battery on here. So now they use their hand. So they go, they one eye it. They one eye it. And they're like, Emerald. 180,000. They look at her. They look at Emerald. They look at her. They look at me. They all signed up. All of them. No one escaped. Not one person escaped. Every single human being signed up. And then what did Ray do? Where are you speaking next, sweetheart? You're amazing. You're incredible. Where are you speaking next? I just want to be a groupie. I'm just going to show up, all right? I'll be like, yeah, go check it out. Why? Why did they all sign up? Because the essence of network marketing is not target market and how smart I am and how, look at amazing all the stuff I know. It's if I can do it, you can do it. That is the essence of network marketing. And so many influencers, big hats, smarty smarts. Lad, just ask me how smart I am, man. Does every person that ever encounter you believe that they can do what you do? Everyone signed up. No one escaped. We got them all. We just put a little net around them, put them right in. And you know what they said to me? They're like, bro, don't be offended by this, bro. They all said this. They pulled me off to the side. They're like, dude, bro, come here. Bro, she can do 108,000? I'm a millionaire, man. I'm gonna kill it. That's the essence of network marketing. Not, let me impress you. Look at how smart I am. Target market, niche, branding, positioning, differentiate or die, sonny. All of that jargon that is used only separates yourself from how everybody else thinks that they can do it. So they'll say, ooh, how smart. And your check will be nothing. Ooh, you're so intelligent. Oh my goodness. Your check will be nothing. You don't get paid in applause. You don't get paid by people being impressed by you. Woo, look how smart they are. Okay? Now, here's a tagline you got to watch for. You got to watch this tagline because it's going to show that you're violating something. And I don't have all the list here, okay? If you hear this word, this phrase, this exact phrase, there's something you got to work on here, okay? If you hear, I can't do what you do. If you ever hear that phrase, you are thinking more transactionally than community and duplication. If you hear that phrase, I can't do what you do, then there's something. And if you want to make the little money, the itty bitty money, look at me. I'm making itty bitty money. Tiny money. I'm making coins. Like they send you your income, they send you your check and you rattle it. You're like, some change in there. Good. I got enough for the toll booth. Great. Awesome. It means you're focused more on be incredible, impressive. Look at how smart I am. So smart. Smarter than you. But you're going to rattle the envelope. The envelope that comes, you're going to, oh, nice. Okay? So, just a recap. If you go to your people and say, you got to learn your target market, man. You got to do it. Got to learn that niche. You got to get credible. You got to become special, influence. And guys, by the way, I told you in the beginning, I violated most of these rules. I didn't get it. I learned it. I lost it. I didn't get it. There were absolutely times where I would tell people to become credible, to become an expert, to become those kind of things. But one thing I never did is said, go to your team and teach that. You should never, ever go to your team and teach them any of this stuff. Now, if you're building a sales organization that is not network marketing, if you're selling plumbing supplies, if you're selling anything that you have no interest in them selling, then sell it up, transact it up, do all the fancy stuff, okay? But if you want thousands, legions, battalions, hordes of people doing what you are doing, then they have to first believe that they can do what you can do. Now, one thing I didn't put up here, work ethic. Work ethic. So am I saying, well, don't you work too hard because most people aren't going to work too hard. That you should work hard. You should be the example of work ethic. You should be the example of making it happen. But the actions that you're taking, that's what you have to be stressing. Hey, I take a lot of action. This is the action I take. You can take this action and you can choose how much you do of it. Work ethic is not, I'm not saying, make sure you don't work too hard because not everyone's, I'm not saying that. But if you are positioning yourself as an expert, incredible. And so I want to warn you against this stuff. This is why I'm such a big fan, and it is just carried for years and years and years and years. Okay? This is why I'm such a fan of ILT. Invest, learn, teach. Instead of you going on your Facebook Live and saying, hello there, 27-year registered nurse here, and in my experience and credibility and specialness and expert level, I believe that omega fatty oils are really good for you. What does everyone think that you don't understand? I'm not a 27-year registered nurse. I can't do what she's doing. She's special. She's credible. She's an expert. She's been at this 27 years. I can't do it. Invest, learn, teach. Hey guys, I read an article yesterday on the interwebs, and it said 4 ways to lose weight are these 4. I just read it. You can read it too. Here's what I noticed. So my someone in my family, I don't want to ever, you never know who gets in my challenges and stuff, right? I've had family members get in my challenges. So a family member, okay? Blue collar. There ain't a hint of white. Not a hint of white. And you can barely see his body for the tattoos, okay? Tattoos everywhere. No judgment. I'm just kind of laying the groundwork here. Blue collar as can be. Tattoos everywhere. Harley Davidson up, okay? Blue collar as they come. Love him. Amazing guy. He came over one day, and this guy has never read a book on business, has never read a book on sales, has never, didn't attend college. I don't know what grade he dropped out, okay? But I'm trying to let you know, not an expert of anything, okay? Except, maybe fixing a small block engine or something like that. I don't know, right? But nothing business, nothing sales, nothing marketing, nothing like that. I keep getting a message. My phone keeps saying it's dying, and it shouldn't be dying, man. But he comes over one day, and he goes, hey, I saw this documentary on the environment, and it, quite frankly, has me concerned. I'm like, oh yeah? He said, yeah, did you know? And he spit out like 18 facts about the environment. I'm like, and it dawned on me, holy shit. Everybody in the world can do ILT. What did he just do? He just ILT'd me. He invested some time. He watched a documentary. He learned something and he taught it. Anybody, truck driver, mechanic, mattress salesman, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Anybody can ILT. Anyone can read an article online and share some knowledge from it. This is duplicatable. You telling your people to become experts, credible, target market, positioning, differentiation, you tell them all that stuff, you're going to send them into a learning factory that they never escape. If, by the way, if you want to go deeper, obviously this is an optional thing. If you're a leader and you don't have this, I can almost guarantee you that this will make you tens of thousands of dollars. We have a branding and duplication playbook that goes over 2 hours of this kind of stuff on what not to do to hurt your duplication, that sort of thing. Talks about personal branding, how to brand yourself without hurting duplication. That's a separate course if you want to get it. I've given you enough here that I feel like I've saved a few souls. I've saved a few people from working really, really hard and not making the big money. If you want to grab the course, you can, higdongroup.com/playbook. So there you go. I don't know. I know that we'll get the contest entries back either today or tomorrow, I believe. But yeah, it's playbook, higdongroup.com/playbook. That's an optional thing. If you want to get it, don't worry about it. I gave you some good stuff here today, so you won't fall into too many traps, hopefully. Do the action step. Do your live. update that tracker from yesterday. Let's make it happen. So I hope this was helpful, my friends. I love you guys. And thank you, Henry, for being coachable. I saw some of your comments. That's super cool. Rock and roll. Let's go. Love you guys. Bye.